What is up, y'all? This is Life Coach Brandy Miles, aka Miss Hippie, and
Life Coach Ange, aka Biloxi.
we are on day 3 of the magic. And first of all, we wanted to share with you about day 2, about the rock. And I have this rock by my bed every night, and I've been doing the magic for a while now. But sometimes what I do is if I feel like I'm gonna have a rough day or something like that, I will actually take this rock and put it in my pocket, and it is so big that I feel it, and I think about the gratitude that I can have in the day. So every time I put my hand in my pocket, I feel the rock and I think of the gratitude that I can have. So this rock really does some magic if you really get into it and get involved. And that's just the same as like doing your 10 gratitudes in the morning. Having those gratitudes, I know once you start getting into it and you get into like the second week and stuff, it starts getting a little bit harder on looking at gratitude. But with this magic book, it's going to open up and give you a bigger perspective on what you want to have gratitude for. So it's going to make it easier for you to do those 10. So did you do your 10?
I did, yeah, and like you said, this isn't the first time I've done this, and so I already knew that it was going to start getting hard. So I actually had, typically, when I first did it, I started off very like general, and then started to get more and more specific as the days go on, because if you're trying to think of 10 things that you're grateful for, and you're writing what they are and why you're grateful, it can become hard. But now I actually, this time I just started with being very specific.
Yes, so, that is dope. That's really dope.
And then the rock, I love the rock. I mean, I love crystals anyway, you know that. And so, and I have them all over. I already have some by my bed, naturally. But like Brandy said, it's just really neat to be able to have something to remind you. Of course, there's no magic in this rock. I mean, it holds a certain energy, but there's no magic,
right.
but remembering to be grateful.
Magic's up here.
Yeah.
The magic's up here.
Is where the magic is.
And the rock is just the reminder of the magic in here. And do you use because I know you have a lot of stones and stuff like that. Do you use different ones at different times? Be like, oh, this is going to be my magic rock today. Or do you specifically have one that you just keep and hold on to?
So for the magic rock, I choose one. Okay. So the last time I chose a unikite, and this time I chose the green chalcedony. Because this one is all about positive energy and connecting with positive people, bringing positivity into your space. And I know that we both have so much going on next month and next year that I need to stay positive, because it can get overwhelming.
Yeah, and we're positive people, so
we are.
So as long as we keep each other positive, we're gonna be good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to start on day 3. Do you want to start with day 3?
Yeah.
She's always the good one about reading and stuff, so I just let her have that because she's really good at it, and I'm not.
So magical relationships is one of my favorites, because I recently realized that I manifested this magical, amazing group of friends that are like family. I grew up very poor, and we didn't have a lot of friends. Like, I was limited to who was in the neighborhood, and that didn't last very long because everybody moved away. And I was kind of stuck taking care of my sister. And I always longed for friends. And I honestly thought that, because of the examples I had, I thought that friendship died in adulthood, and that unless you had good coworkers, you wouldn't have any friends.
Really? And that's from your experience with your family and stuff too.
Yeah, because my parents didn't have any real friends. Not really. They didn't socialize. They didn't do anything.
Well, I think that has to do with all our culture, the poor culture that we was in, that everybody was just in survival. It was like, go to work, come home, clean the house, do supper, do homework, go to bed, next day, same thing. So there wasn't really a space or anything for friendships and stuff like that.
And I thought that you didn't really have a choice, that that's how life was going to be.
Yeah.
But, now I am surrounded by all these amazing friends.
Yeah.
And I can see that I manifested that because of my desires as a kid, and it truly is.
I think that's dope.
It's a game changer. So, it starts out by, imagine if you were the only person on earth, you would have no desire to do anything. What would be the point in creating a painting if no one could see it? What would be the point in composing music if no one could hear it? And she goes on and makes several comparisons as such, which, you know, it makes sense. Like, if no one is there, it's that whole, if the tree falls in the woods and no one's around, doesn't make a sound. Like, what's the point? But even more so than that, you know, it is your contact and experiences with other people that give your life joy, meaning, and purpose. But to receive the life of your dreams, it's vital that you understand how your relationships affect your life now. You know, as a single mom of 3, it is my hope, my biggest hope truly for them, is that they can find a really good group of friends, or even just one good friend, because friends can really make or break you, and especially growing up, you know, you don't want a bad influence.
Well, the thing about that too is it's seasonal too. You know, some people that come in your life, they're in your life forever, and then some people come in your life and they're just there for a season. But you have to recognize that and be okay with them being there for the season, because they are there for a reason. You just have to see why that they're there.
Yeah.
You know,
and it doesn't devalue the relationship if it's just a seasonal one. You know, it's still very valuable at that time.
Well, I think you're a lot like me. Like, whenever I'm with somebody, I'm very present and stuff with them. And even if I don't talk to them for months, as soon as we connect with each other, it's like we never skip a beat. Absolutely. And that's just the kind of person that I am. Yeah. And I don't hold no grudge towards anybody if we haven't talked to each other for a few months. It's just, it's life. But those are special people in your life, and the ones that you can really connect with even months down the road, and it's like y'all never, you know, lost a beat. That's some true friends. That really is some true friends.
Yeah, absolutely. So studies actually show the value that friendship has in your life, and strong relationships can have in your life. And one of the biggest things about that is gratitude. If you are not being grateful for your relationships, then you are not taking true advantage of them. And humans are human, right? We aggravate each other, we get on each other's nerves. Like, nobody is perfect, nobody's going to not. But it's when you continue to seek the gratitude in that relationship that you can truly let those things go. And the phrase relationship often gets associated with romance, but relationship just simply means a connection with someone. So that can be friend, it can be coworker, it can be mom, sibling, boss, spouse. It can be romantic, but it doesn't have to be. And so truly just finding gratitude for all of your relationships can make such a big difference. As you increase your gratitude for any relationship, you will magically receive an abundance of happiness and good things in the relationship. You know, something else about the power of attraction is how gratitude affects not just the things that you are grateful for, but how it affects the other things that you're trying to manifest. So if I'm working to manifest, you know, a big client, and I'm struggling with that because it's not happening as fast as I would like, if I can seek gratitude in other things, such as my friendships and my relationships, then I can increase my ability to manifest the big client, because my vibe is high, my attitude is positive, and my mindset is open. So today's magical practice is to be grateful for your people just as they are. Again, humans are human, and we can't change people. We are only responsible for our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. We can't change anyone, and no one is responsible for our thoughts, feelings, or actions. So it behooves you to find gratitude in those relationships so that you can continue to enjoy the benefits of them.
Like, just having gratitude for each one of these relationships. And two, the thing that they have is, like, what do they say? Like, take 2 pictures or 3 pictures of the person that you have gratitude for. Me, I don't like to carry around pictures and stuff for that day, so I take a little folder and I put it in my phone specifically of the people that I want to give gratitude to. And even with saying gratitude on here, at that moment, and you know, I like to do gratitude like once a month, so I redo this every month. So what I like to do is, with those pictures of those individuals, you say thank you to those individuals, but I specifically contact them and tell them, you know, listen, I just wanted to tell you that I'm grateful for you and that everything that you're doing and stuff. And so that's a big thing with me, is letting that, and I put different people in that folder too that I have gratitude for that month. And so what I do is I contact different people, and it gives me the opportunity to connect with other people too, like really reach out there and talk to them. So I love it. I love it.
And, so often we don't tell others how we feel, good or bad, but especially the good. We don't, you never know.
Well, you just don't want to offend them or nothing, but I think that's something that people need to hear, like that I really appreciate you, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me, and don't make it awkward. And
it goes a long way.
Yeah. Well, we're the type of people, anyways, that we show gratitude to people and show how much that we love them. So I don't really feel like people will be like, "What is wrong with you, Brandy?"
No, not us, but
other people. Yeah, other people.
Mm-hmm.
So. You just have to look at it.
Sometimes that can be a barrier, because if you're not used to doing that, then you can feel awkward. But people, there's not really anybody that's gonna not like that. And and a lot of times the awkward feeling is vulnerability.
Yes. Being vulnerable.
But that's important, because gratitude is being vulnerable, because it's showing how much you appreciate something, and that puts you, that's opening yourself up a little bit. And if you're not used to that, then it can be hard, but it's so worth it.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. All right, so of course, we have to repeat the first 2 days. So the first 2 days will be repeated each time.
So that means in the morning you will write 10 things that you're grateful for. And I have a notebook that I put it in, and I write it in, and some people do it verbally on the phone. Sometimes I will forget when I first get up in the morning, so I'll grab my phone and do it in the recorder and stuff. So it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you actually really stop and do it. And then with the rock, that evening and stuff, whenever you go to lay down, or sometimes when I get up in the morning, I'll grab it and put it in my pocket. But just holding on to that rock and having gratitude, that is just feeling the gratitude makes all the difference. And my rock, I tell you that it's cold. So when it hits my hand, it's kind of like I feel the gratitude just coming through me. And then when it warms up, I'm like, okay, it's time for me to put it down.
And the thing, there's so much power in speaking out loud. So in the evening, I encourage you to hold your rock and say out loud, thank you for whatever the best thing that happened that day was. And just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thinking it is great, but I'm just telling you, when you speak it, you are saying it, you're hearing it, and you're thinking it. So you're really, really putting it in there. So those are the daily tasks. And then your new task is going to be to choose 3 of your closest relationships, and it can be any spouse, sibling, child, friend, whatever.
Just 3 people that you are very grateful for this month. Yes.
Yep. And then I want you to find pictures of them, and it can be printed photos or it can be digital. You can create a collage on Pick Collage or whatever and make that your screensaver for the day so that you see it. But once you do pick those 3 photos, sit down and take a few minutes to really think about what you're grateful for them. Because of course we automatically feel gratitude for the people that are important in our lives, but when you really sit down and think like, man, I'm so grateful for, Margaret, for always loving on me and being such an incredible mentor and encouraging me, and always just being so kind. And then you start to think about the different ways that has happened, and you can feel it. You can feel it in your body and in your mind when you do that. And so the power is not only in doing it, but also in really reflecting. So take time to reflect.
Yeah, and this is all about a mindset change. You're changing your mind to be more grateful. So 2022 is going to be our year of gratitude and love and connection and growth. So changing this mindset right at the very beginning is crucial to whatever you're going to be doing in 2022.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So after you've reflected and really thought about it, get a pen and paper, computer or phone or notepad or whatever, and write down 5 things that you are grateful for each of them. And then look at the photograph as you're making the list and say thank you, their name, and then for what. it's important to do the complete sentence.
Yeah, it really is, because it lets you know you're really not thinking that you're just grateful for them. You're thinking of what you're grateful for, what from them. And so having that, it's just a part of the mindset change of being gratitude, and you're really looking at them and being very detailed of what you're grateful for them for. Yep.
Yeah, and so they give the example of, thank you, John, for always making me laugh, or thank you, Mom, for supporting me through college. When you finish your list for all 3 people, continue with this practice by taking the photographs with you today and putting them in a place where you will see them often. Again, most of us don't have printed photos. I do, but most of us don't. So you can use your phone, create a screensaver. That way you do see it pretty regularly. And when you see it, don't let it pass by. Take a second, just 1 second, and just say thank you. And if you have more than a second, then really remember those things that you wrote down about why you're grateful for them. And I love the messaging them. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, I think that's dope, and I've never done that before, and so I was just thinking of it while we were sitting here, and so this time I'm going to like message them and be like, hey, you know, I'm really grateful for you, and tell them the reason why I'm grateful for them, and it'll make their day, and it'll make me happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I know that it can feel like a lot because you have 2 things that you have to do every day, and then now you have another thing. But again, I promise you that it is well worth it. And this is just one day. You don't have to carry the photos around every day unless you want to. It's well worth it. And if you are having a hard time like remembering to do these things, then set a reminder, set an alarm. You know, don't be ashamed to do that, because I'm really serious when I say that after 28 days you will feel like a different person.
Yes.
You
Yes.
will.
I have so much gratitude like running through me. And to be honest with you, when I experienced it the first time that I did it, like midway through this, I was like having spiritual awakenings.
Yeah.
Like it was just so overwhelming, the gratitude that I had, that it was amazing.
Yeah. I felt like I was like buzzing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like that natural buzz, and like just you are just so in awe. Yes. And it could happen if you really get serious with this and start the mindset change.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is today, and tomorrow is, what is tomorrow? Magical health.
Yes.
So Brandy will be talking to us all about magical health. So join us again for tomorrow. Don't forget to be grateful, and we are grateful for you.
We are, and y'all have an awesome day. Peace out.